Lucky Boys Podcast.
I don't mean to pick the scab because I know it's fresh, but you said you're all right talking about it.
Yeah.
And you're not alone in this, because during COVID, a lot of people had to bunker in, and to use your phrasing that you said to me while we were offline. You said it kind of accelerated our relationship, and for better or for worse, you guys broke up.
Very recent, and it's mutual. So COVID accelerated, the end of the relationship. As I mentioned earlier too, like in the beginning of COVID, March, April, I was like hearing stories about breakups, and even on the news they were saying like, divorce rates are sky high. And then I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, look at these people, like, they don't know nothing about each other, but me and you, we're good. That's how I felt, honestly. And then, obviously, it's October now. It's October, and like living together, every day, couples all over the world living together, stuck together every day, especially if you have kids, throw that in there too. Like, I can't even imagine with a family too, so just me and a girlfriend, just two people, it's proven to be tough, because I don't really think ever in the history of like the world, like have couples stayed home together every day. Like there's no stay at home mom and stay at home dad, like that's, ever. So like, this is like really, I think, put like
that's called like retirement.
That's called like retirement, yeah. But by then you're like you're staying together, and by that time, like okay, like each other's quirks and all that. But so like basically this pandemic has like really put like it's been an experiment, basically a huge social experiment on like relationships. Okay, everybody stay home. Let's see what happens. And I think people are finding a lot about each other that they didn't know. Because, before, when you go to work, that's like almost all the day that you're not together. So
you guys have time to miss each other.
So there's that too, right? There's like that distance and then coming back to each other, come back to each other, and that feels good. That's part of like, longing, so there's no more longing, right? If you're together all the time, you wake up together, go to sleep together, you eat together, everything together, and that's tough, even for like a strong relationship, so, it proved tough for us as well, and, eventually I guess we kind of realized like, okay, we learned these things about each other,
Were there several fights that kind of led up to the breakup, or were there just things that you guys pent up and it was just one big explosion and then you guys said, hey, maybe it's better off?
There was one like kind of big-ish fight, and then we kind of almost ended it there, actually. Like, but then we talked and said, all right, we know we have these issues. Let's give it like some time. So we're like, all right, let's give it a month, and let's see if things change. Let's see if you want to change. Let's see if I want to change, and and if there's like some hope to continue. A month passed. We talked again. Agreed that like you're gonna be you and I'm gonna be me. And we have to realize this and accept it, as hard as, so basically I think like a lot of people are still in relationships because they just don't want to go through all that, right? Like they're just like, oh, I guess I'm with you. I guess we're together. And like, I'm not happy. You're not happy. And we both know that, but like, we're just going to continue doing this because they don't want to make these hard decisions and these hard moves to like, ruin the routine, ruin the comfort of a relationship. So I just had to do that, actually, not too long ago. And
that's hyper mature of both of you.
Yeah, I mean,
especially you guys been together for quite a few years.
Yeah, like 5 years. So, but like it has to be that way. Like it has to be. I mean, I guess depending on the person, it could be totally immature, right? Like you could just like make a whole scene and like yell at each other, and like it could be bad.
Right, but you guys didn't. That wasn't your case, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't.
You guys said, let's give it some time and let's just see if we can make these adjustments. And you both came to the conclusion and said, no, we can't. We're gonna be us, and we can't accept that.
Yeah, and that's tough, right?
That's
like,
really tough.
God, like it's like you know, I'm guilty of it too. Like, you know, there's these problems and we're not talking about it. I'm not mentioning it. And then, you know, things build up, but eventually we both were like, all right, this has to be talked about. It's gotta be, you know,
It's the elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, and it's just me and you and the elephant.
You just can't keep kicking the can down the street anymore. It's just you two.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So, you know, it came to that point where we said, you know, we've grown apart, you know, and just kind of thinking of it positively, you know, it's going to be better for us, you know, like we know now that we cannot spend the rest of our lives together. You know, it's like, it kind of comes down to that too, you know, we've been together 5 years. We're both 30 years old, you know, so that's the question in our minds too. We're like, well, are we going to go the whole way or not? You know, so these are also the thoughts that we're having, you know, so it can kind of come down to that. Oh, do we want to spend the rest of our lives together? Yes or no? Like, that's like kind of the bottom line as well. So, you know, we decided no for these reasons, you know, like.
Is there a sense of regret regarding time spent? Do you feel like you wasted 5 years?
There are some feelings of that, but I know that's not true, you know, because that's just like raw emotion,
right,
you know, like,
right.
oh, 5 years with someone and I'm not together anymore, you know, but it kind of goes back to like, you know, signs and life and destiny, you know. I believe this was meant to be. I believe we were supposed to be together for these 5 years and we were supposed to learn from each other what we learned from each other, you know, and if this is the way it's to be, then this is the way it's to be. Like now our paths diverge, you know, now you are on another route, I'm on another route. And then, you know, we continue to grow separately. So no regret because, you know, without her, like she was been like my rock for like a long time.
Based on everything you were telling me, like she was supporting you and pushing you, and she was really your champion with a lot of the things that you were doing. And you're running ideas by her, and she was completely honest and supportive. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, you got a good one there.
Yeah,
you got a good one there.
Yeah, she definitely was a big motivator in like me doing the things we talked about, my run for Chinatown.
Yeah.
She was pushing me. She said, because, you know, I lost my job. I wasn't doing anything at home really. I was like running, jogging, like.
Yeah, she sounds awesome. Like from that, when you were telling me that, I was like, oh man, that's.
Yeah. So she was actually the catalyst for me doing this fundraising thing, you know? So that's what I mean by like, I don't regret this because if she wasn't around in my life, I wouldn't have done that. If she wasn't around in my life, I wouldn't have pushed myself to like try to do this private dining thing, you know? And then, you know, and everything leads to, you know, right now, me here talking to you guys, you know, like, so do I regret it? No, because it's just all part of the process, you know?
Yeah, it's part of your journey.
Part of the journey, you know? And I'm all about the journey.
He's back on the market. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. So, Norm, how about you? How do you like deal with it? Because you're in that boat.
I have my own room.
Oh, you do?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, I was like, whoa,
Sleep
wait.
separately.
Yeah.
It's like, it's been a while. You asked me that question. Now I have my room.
Wait, so hold on.
just
So you and Gabby have been together, what, 5 years too, right?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
4 years.
yeah.
So, okay. And you guys have been living together for what, a year and a half now? Something like that?
2 years, I think.
2 years.
I think a little different. Me and my girlfriend, we've been living together for a while. So we kind of knew our habits. And I made it a point, like, if things are bothering you and bothering me, we have to communicate. And we've had fights pre-COVID. So I think we kind of had that training before actually bunkering down for this long period of time, where it's like we see each other 24/7 now. And also I think she understands I need my space and she needs her space, and that we understand that, like, okay, we're okay with each other being apart, doing our own thing, but, you know, we're coming back to each other and we have a loving relationship. And I think because of that understanding, and plus, you know, I live in a big ass house and I have like different rooms. Wow. So I don't have to, like, she could be on the second floor.
It's not that big, jeez.
Oh, it's not that big, guys. It's not a mansion. You know?
Not a mansion, jeez.
It's not a mansion.
So MTV Cribs over here.
So we do have to pass each other. We still have to pass each other in the hall. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, when we work, we have different spaces. She's upstairs, I'm downstairs. I think it's just that, just having the communication and having the understanding and having the space doesn't hurt either. Being close proximity with someone 24/7, there are going to be things like will irk you and you know, put your nerves on. Like sometimes, like, you know, I don't wash the dishes, you know, she gets pissed, like, and she's cooking, and I get it. So there's compromise. We have to, and that's through communication.
Yeah.
Right. And I know you
for
live
me,
with kids, bro.
I got kids. Yeah. For me, it's opposite. So we don't have like spaces. I don't have like I don't live in a humongous house. Norm.
I don't know.
But it's a very intimate setting. It's one floor. It's, you know, and you know, damn, I don't want to. I want to phrase this carefully, but since this whole thing happened, it's actually brought my relationship with my family tighter, with my wife and my kids, because, you know, now my wife is working from home, I'm working from home, and my kids aren't in school; they're virtually learning, right? And we didn't have them in summer camp or anything, so, you know, throughout this whole process, we've been together, and to most people, it'll drive them fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It'll drive them absolutely nuts. So I think every personality is different. So what may work for me may not work for someone else. But and I understand that. But because since we've been, I guess, caged together under four walls and a roof, we've gone so tight. I mean, I'm having so much fun with them. And I know people don't like stories like this all the time because, you know, misery loves company. Right. But I got to be honest here. And that's why I want to phrase it carefully, because I don't mean to, like, you know, make anyone feel any type of way. Like again, something may work for you, may not work for me. But yeah, I kind of love it. I love being with my family. I love being with my girls. I mean, we just have we've gotten so tight. And, you know, before I was working all the time, I was always out on the road. I was always out and about. And I've always felt guilty that I should be with my kids more. They spend more time with their teachers than they do with me. So I'm really depending on a stranger to raise my kid. And I always had some guilt about that. You know, it just didn't feel right. It just didn't sit well with me for whatever reason. And because of this now, it's just, I'm teaching them everything. That is difficult, you know, for us. But it creates this bond, and it's fucking incredible. I love it. You know, we cook, we eat together. We've gotten so tight. They're so much nicer and kinder, my kids now too, because they're seeing the way we treat each other, and they're learning so much about behavior. It's just, I just
probably the most important stage in their life, right?
Yeah.
The developing.
Yeah. And don't get it twisted. We fight.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we go at it. We go at it. We argue. I mean, there's only so much, you know, the kids drive us crazy, and then they build up like a lot of tension in the room, and then things start happening, and the kids are crying. This is not the Brady Bunch. Like, this isn't perfect, but it's the unperfect situation that I like. I don't mind getting into a little scuffle once in a while. You know, it makes me I don't mind if it rains once in a while out here. It makes me appreciate everything that much more. So I don't mind, like, I know if we argue and it's just like stupid shit, like you talk about dishes or leaving this behind. And
it's stupid.
It's never personal.
Yeah,
you know, it's always just stupid things for us to kind of say, hey, I'm frustrated and this is bothering me. So can we kind of help each other out? I'm okay with that, and with the kids, and we get it. Sometimes we just got to vent, and we just we'll be each other's punching bags. You know, we don't do too hard, but we support one another. And then we come back, and then we just kind of forget it happened, and we watch something on TV, and wake up, it's a whole new day. Hey, you want some eggs? You want some coffee? You want, you know, we just kind of go, we know we're beyond that. It's not a big fight. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, though. It's certainly tough. And it's not like I found someone, and then we had to build that trust.
Yes, exactly.
We went through your stage, Leland, where like, hey, fix this. I hate this and that, and let's give it this X amount of time. We went through that stage, and we broke up, and then we made it back together somehow after a year. We were like, let's revisit this.
A year off.
We took some time. I mean, could be more, could be less. So, but sometime around that, we did that whole thing. Like, hey, this is annoying to me. This is not working out. And we came back after the big explosion, and we gave each other space. And it just kind of circled back into the same things. And we realized that at this point in life, we can't change. And whatever it is, this point in life, we don't have that maturity. So we broke up, and we were still friends. We still talked. We still support one another. And after a year, we just kind of bumped in, had a meal together, and was like, damn, I kind of miss this. This is pretty awesome. Like, yeah, all the negatives, but look at all the fucking positives. Like, it's just fucking incredible. And I was like, I said to myself, like, I can't let that go. Like this, no, I got to try harder. Like, yeah, I got to give this another shot. So, I talked to her. She felt the same way. And then 2 kids later, here we are, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Relationships, you got to work. And when you have kids, you got to work even more, because it's so easy when your biggest problem is like Netflix, what shows to watch, where to go on vacation, or talk about your stupid friends and this and that and making plans, the silly things, right? But when you're talking about kids, now you're talking about money, you're talking about schools, you're talking about mortgage, you're talking about a car note, all this other stuff. Her parents, your parents.
You're responsible for life now.
Yeah, and then trying to balance all that and have a social life and
still be yourself. And
still be yourself. Have some form of identity and make an income as well. That's hard, man. Relationships are especially these days with all this social media and distractions. It's so easy to just give up on a relationship and say next, when you have all these memes saying I deserve better. God. Or all these quotes out there.
I can't take it.
If you can't accept me as my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Or, like it sounds good in a quote, but that's not the way life works all the time. Life and relationships usually cannot be summed up on one meme or one quote.
I feel like those quotes are for single people. They're not really for like people.
No, because people in couples could be reading that and going, I do
reading.
Deserve better. Yeah, fuck him or screw her.
Couples are reading it, but then I don't think dangerous. They're for. Yeah, it's dangerous. I don't think it's for single people.
It'll play with your mind, and so you're getting advice from your phone from somebody that posted something for likes.
Yes.
Because it sounds really good, and sometimes they'll post it with a celebrity on a quote, and the celebrity didn't even say that, but they'll post it with a celebrity saying that, and it could be out of context for you. And I think that part is also it's just dangerous to use that application to real life. You need to go with what we were talking about earlier, signs, actually moving and making adjustment. You need to use your own damn head, you cut out all the noise from your whatever phone you got, or your friends. Sometimes they can instigate something. They don't understand your relationship.
Yeah, they might be in a different stage of the relationship, so it's like very different.